about the Gen 1 B58. I drive a F22. It's an M240. And I'm gonna let you guys know what I experienced with the Catless downpipe and no tune, and what I like about it and what I dislike about it. And honestly, first and foremost, I installed the downpipe myself. I'm not a professional installing it, and I used the help of a couple of my friends. And in terms of the installation process, I wouldn't recommend you guys doing it to yourself. You could probably spend $100 to $200, bring it to a shop, they install it for you professionally, and it's probably more headache free. But I'll let you guys know like how we did it and the techniques I used when installing it. Things first, when installing the downpipe, we had to take the intake out, and that was pretty much easy. There was a bracket holding the intake to the intake box. That's just a flat head you use to loosen it up, and then you can put it right back in. And in terms of the box coming out itself, it was held in by a couple push pins kind of, and you just pull it out and the intake is out right there. And when it comes to the downpipe itself, it's on the left hand of the car when you're facing the car, and it's right under the engine. And there's a couple C-clamps holding it, and that's about it. And once you take those C-clamps out, you can bring the downpipe out, and then you can take out the O2 sensors. That's how I did it. That's how I took out the sensors. I didn't take it off while it was on the car. I took it off when it came out of the car. And that's a very good strategy to use, because those things could be rusted, could be really old on the car, and it won't not come off. And it's just going to be a bigger of a headache if you guys are installing it yourself. When it comes to like the most challenging parts when installing it, it's when it's connected to the downpipe is connected to the mid pipe. There's a C-clamp holding it. There's also another screw holding the mid pipe onto the frame itself. And it's really hard because there's not much room to work with, and it's pretty hard to like manage to get that out. And in terms of taking that out and everything we used, 99% of the sockets we used was a 13mm socket that we used, and you probably need a couple extenders just in case. You probably guys, I just got brake checked so hard. You probably need a couple extenders to use while you're installing it. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do. Going in, I thought it's like a 3 out of 10 difficulty, but it was more like 7, 8 out of 10 difficulty. And when it comes to the mid pipe, it's really a pain in the ass to take it out, because there's not much room to work with, and you have to kind of wiggle it out. And once you take that out, then you're good, right? And when it's connected to the mid pipe, what I would recommend connecting the new Catless downpipe to the mid pipe is that there's a little box right there that connects the mid pipe to the sub body frame. Honestly, what I did is with that box, I put a wood right here and I hammered the wood for it to go in, and it worked perfectly fine. When it went in, there was no exhaust leaks. Then I fastened the C brackets, and it went in perfectly. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of this. Starting with the pros. Honestly, going in this without a tune, I didn't think it's going to be loud. It's pretty loud. The pops are nice, considering that I don't have a tune on, and the sound itself is a very deep sound that when it comes up, and I'll roll a clip right now of how it sounds. And the pops are, and the crackles are pretty amazing, honestly. I didn't think it's going to be like that. Considering I didn't even use a VRSF downpipe, I used the aftermarket one. I don't even know what the brand is. I picked it up for $250 on Marketplace, and honestly, I loved it. And in terms of the rattling, there is a little bit of rattling when it comes to cold starts and the Valvetronic of the car. It does make the valves shake a little bit in the morning when you start it off, and it's like a really bad cold start. But what I found out is I could just code out cold start, and that problem would be resolved. I don't like the sound myself. It does sound like what I refer to as a Honda Civic sound, like when you get those Honda Civic straight piped. I don't like that when it's a cold start. But other than that, when the car's warmed up, it sounds phenomenal, honestly. As you guys can see, And when it comes to the smell of it, honestly, going into this, I didn't think the smell was going to be that bad. But now that I have it, when you come to standstill traffic, and if you're driving within city limits, it's crazy. I hate the smell. I have a couple of my friends that don't dislike the smell, like they don't mind it, but I personally do not like it at all. And it's when I roll down my windows and I come to standstill, I can smell it. When I'm like kind of like in first and second gear, I can still smell it, and I don't like that smell at all. And let's talk about the performance side of these and like how it sounds within the other parts of the engine. And when it comes to turbos and stuff, it makes the turbo sound a lot more. Like you can hear the turbo a lot more, and you can feel the engine more. Don't get me wrong, you can feel the engine more, and it does sound a bit louder within the engine compartment now. And I enjoy the upshifts so much. Honestly, the upshifts sound amazing. The downshifts even sound better now with this downpipe on. And like I don't mind anything of it except the smell. However, it depends on where you are. It might be illegal. In Ontario, where I am, it probably is illegal. I haven't actually researched too much into it. But other than that, like, it sounds amazing. Like, I love the sound and everything. In terms of performance-wise, I personally have seen an increase in my throttle response, and it does make it a little bit faster. It is like 20-30 horsepower more, which is not that much more, but I felt like it improved my throttle response by a lot. And in terms of making the car faster, I haven't seen a difference really. Maybe a little bit in a positive side of difference, but not like drastically. However, I will be tuning the car very soon, and I'll give you guys an update on that. For right now, it's just a Catless downpipe with no tune, and like, I love it. I would definitely recommend it. I wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. I would recommend bringing it to a shop if you like it. It's like $200. It's not the end of the world, and you get to get it done professionally. It's honestly way easier to put it on a hoist and do it than doing it on jack and jack stands. It's much harder. But if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I will address them. And if there's anything I haven't addressed yet, let me know. I should be able to address that too. And if you guys want a tutorial, I could possibly walk you guys through how to put this downpipe on. But however, I don't recommend putting it on yourself. Just bring it to a shop. It's easy, do it yourself. And yeah.